So today we are going to discuss algebra. Algebra was invented in the 9th century by a Muslim mathematician, Musa al-Khwarizmi. Today the focus is going to be on law of indices. So let's have a look at how these law of indices work. Law of indices is extremely important for algebra, and it is utilized again and again in IGCSE Cambridge. So let's look at these laws. The first law that we see here is for multiplication. So what do we see here? We see if the base is the same, which is 8 in both cases, then the law of indices for multiplication states the base are the same, you can then add the powers. So you had A as a base here. You had a power of 2 here and power of 3. So these two can be added. And you are left with A raised to power 5. In case of law of indices for division, if the same base is in the numerator, the same base is in the denominator. So you could take the power in the denominator, change its sign, and you could subtract. So you are left with A raised to power 2. So you had A4 in here, A2 in the denominator, A raised to power 4 minus 2, A raised to power 2. Then you have law of indices related to raising of a power. So if you have like this only one base, which is A raised to power 4, and you have a power outside the bracket, in such cases the base remains the same, which is A, but you can multiply the powers. So the power inside the bracket, which was 4, can be multiplied with the power outside the bracket, which was 3. And we get A raised to power 4 into 3, which is 12. The power 0 of any number ultimately leads to 1. And this is important to remember. So look here, we have A raised to power 7 divided by A raised to power 7. We took this power in the numerator, the sign changed, and so it became A raised to power 7 minus 7, so A raised to power 0. So do remember, even if you have 10,000 and you have power of 0, the answer will remain as 1. Negative indices. If you have x raised to power minus 2 and you take it into denominator, the sign would change and it will become 1 over x plus 2. And reverse, if you wanted to take this in the numerator, you take the x numerator, but the sign now will be opposite, change, and this becomes x raised to power minus 2. So what we have discussed so far are the different law of indices. We have looked into the law of indices for multiplication, for division. We looked into how the law of indices works in case of raising of power. The powers get multiplied. We have looked at the law of indices. When the power is 0, the answer is always 1. And then finally we looked into negative indices, that how the sign changes when you move the power from numerator to denominator and reverse. So as a next step, we would be doing questions related to these law of indices. Thank you.